Can Panamanian houses be built out of 2x4s? That's the main question that we're answering today. If you want to know more content about architecture, construction, and Panama, subscribe to this channel. This question is what I'll answer today. This answer is not so simple as anything in life. So my question is it against Panamanian code to build out of wood and sheetrock? Among building materials in Panama, I've seen wood that roughly resembles US Canadian 2x4. It is the same. It is the exact same. It's not like that's Panamanian 2x4. It is Canadian and it's US 2x4. Now, the question even gets bigger. Why nobody uses it? The answer to that question is that every house needs to be structurally calculated. And the standard for structural calculations is concrete. Concrete for beams, columns, foundation, floor slab, for everything. So 2x4 would not fit into the traditional. Number one reason why nobody builds with 2x4s. You could do it. You could structurally calculate your house with 2x4s. Now, let me elaborate a little bit on this point. Think about the construction code as the law. You have lawyers that know the law, and then after reading the law, they come up with a case, or they know how to operate based on laws. It is the exact same thing for electricians, engineers, civil engineers, plumbers. There is a code. There's always a code. And you can do anything with the code, but you need to know how to apply the code. If you would ask in advance, hey, I want a house made out of 2x4s, can you calculate that structure? They would have to say yes. But again, nobody does that.
Before I forget, let's talk about the main differences between building a house with the traditional framing system in the United States and Canada versus a house made out of blocks like the houses we do here in Panama. First things first, the block by nature isolates heat and noise pretty well. I'm aware that in the framing system you'll have to do the isolating separately. And staying in the topic of isolating, the block is really good against fires, meaning that if you would frame a house here in Panama, your insurance might be very high. Third difference, when you're building a house with concrete, the blocks are just to enclose the house. The structural system of the house will be columns and beams that could be either metal or concrete. On the framing system, I'm aware that the whole framing of the house carry the load of the second story or the roof. Don't fall for the trap that, oh, the thicker blocks is good for the structure of the house. No, that's a complete lie. Thicker blocks are used just for the plumbing system, actually just for the walls against the back of the toilet. Those blocks are 6 inches. The regular block system is 4 inch, and that's good for hot water, cold water, and electricity. So don't fall for that trap, because I've heard that too many times. Those are the biggest difference regarding construction. But after the construction is done, you will face issues of maintenance, repairing, and the overall use of the house. So when you are building a house with 2x4s, I'm not sure how would that behave on this weather, this humid, but the block system has no issues. Another example of a material that do not perform well in this weather are clay roof tiles. Oh, I love the clay roof tiles. Oh, I love that Spanish look. Leave those tiles to the Spanish people. They don't have this weather that we need to figure out how we could handle it. And very soon I'll share with you some stats that back up this argument. So yeah, keep watching this video.
But there's come the second reason why people don't build with 2x4s, and that is that, as I mentioned, that's US and Canadian 2x4s. Concrete is made here. Those 2x4s come from both US and Canada. That means extra shipping, that means extra cost overall, because it's more effort to get that material. So now you got another question, why there is not a industry of 2x4s in Panama? Because of the weather. We face severe weather. So I think it's a great time for me to elaborate on why weather is such a big deal in construction. First, let's take a look at some stats. This is the amount of humidity by percentage that we have usually. This is the chart of the rainiest months of the year, and this is a screenshot from today's weather, we have 83% humidity in the air, and today is July 3rd, 2023. Now, after this, I'll give you two questions for you to meditate. First question: how's like the weather in those countries where 2x4 is used for construction? I would assume that it's drier than here because this is the third time that it rains today. Now, second question, maybe more important than the first one. Which state of the United States has the most similar weather to Panama? The answer is Florida. And they use blocks and they use concrete more than the rest of the states of the United States. So I hope this shows you why 2x4 is not the to-go option. But let's ask the obvious question: why concrete? The answer is that concrete, by definition, is an artificial stone, which makes it the best option for a weather that is as extreme and harsh as the one we have here in Panama. Also, you can sculpt it and shape it the way you want it, and you can get whatever strength out of it. So that's why it's used for construction. That's why it's used for foundations, for walls, for beams, for everything. Because you need to be prepared if you're gonna fight against nature. And stone is the most resistant element that nature itself gives us.
By the way, this phenomenon of building houses with concrete happens all over Latin America. And this is because our European heritage. The Spanish, the French, the Italian, they all built with stone. And now we build with concrete.
Now, before I forget, I have to say that there are materials specifically made for this weather, similar to 2x4s and to the sheetrock and framing process in general that people in Canada and US are used to. If you would like to know about those materials, let me know in the comment section below.
By the way, I want to be very clear. I don't have anything against 2x4s. I just think that it doesn't fit for this weather, and I'm not the only one who thinks that way for the reasons that I've just shared.
You can do it. It's not the traditional, meaning that you may face issues of supply, meaning that you may face issues for people that are eligible to install it.
Hey, it's me here remembering things that I should have said during the video, but now I remember them during the editing. I have a playlist about building a house in Panama. You might want to check that out here. Go and check it.
So that's the answer. Yes and no. If you are ready for more confusing answers, subscribe to this channel just because. By the way, this house that we're building here is all made out of concrete. And all that house that you see over there, it's all made out of steel. And obviously, blocks and concrete will be used, but all the structure for that house is the steel. So subscribe if you want to see that project, and subscribe if you want to see this project. I hope that's a better reason for you to subscribe. See you the next time. Bye-bye.